Attempting.
Yeah, so I forgot. It was like it was a 2-day journey to there, right?
Yeah.
To the
Yeah.
mine. So it'd been 2 days journey back.
And
To take off 2 rations.
Amazingly, Wilbur ran out of there with his pants off.
For a total of
The mosquitoes.
5 days, I think.
I think the man could suffer a few bug bites aside from a wyvern eating his.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it was a total of 5 days you guys gone.
Yeah. So we have enough rations. Like, we would be scraping by on rations.
Yeah, we have a few left. But now we can actually try and get some fucking food up here.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, follow the river, whatever, 2 days. And you reach the forward camp.
I probably think we're dead.
If you remember, wasn't the camp on the beach? It was further in. Into the jungle.
Fucking finding the loggers.
And you notice that there's a clearing in the front. Like there's a bunch of trees that have been cut down, allowing the sun to beat down on the north section of the camp. There's no longer a canopy there. Spikes have been arranged around the camp, along with some movable barriers, more stationed guards. It looks like they have transferred some manpower to the forward camp. It's definitely gotten a lot larger, as well as cut down the forest. They've been the jungle. They've been able to kind of expand more. And you're welcomed into the as you pass through. And most of the men and women are hard at work, building or chopping down the jungle. Also foraging, stuff like that. Eventually you reach the main camp. Similar defenses measures have been taken around this camp as well. And it looks like there are more guards stationed around the perimeter than usual as well.
And resupply, I'll go report to Stalker. Hopefully he's alright.
Alright.
Hess will address the group. He says, if there are no further orders, I wish to pass my comments to the company sergeant.
Very well. And by the way, I'll hand the fallen comrade's sword I had taken, because I still have the remnants of my broken one, hopefully.
He says, keep it. I think he wants you to have it. And then he'll leave and head, and then he'll say his goodbyes, and then to like the group for now, anyways, and then head towards the eastern part of the beaches, which is where you guys' company's main camp is, or like tents are.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's reporting time. The lords and everyone else needs to make sure that they know exactly what we've witnessed and seen.
I'll accompany you in the reporting as another voice.
It would be wise. I'll try and see where the dwarf is.
I'm just gonna.
He's probably been like.
Can't hear anything. I just hear door creaks.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't know why I thought you guys. Mike was in here. Yeah, the dwarf has been with you the whole time. He's been like a smartass the whole time,
Oh,
as usual. But I don't really feel like
voicing
Being a
it.
fucking
Voicing.
racist.
I don't feel like voicing that.
Oh, you knife-eared, pointy fucking git.
Yeah, he's been pretty casual with everyone. He's always anything he could like latch onto that the elf does during the journey back. He'll
Oof. Wait, what? I just heard latch on to.
like anything he can like pick on you for
Oh, okay.
did wrong. He just notices you do something, he'll probably like spin it into something bad.
Actually, did he ever decipher that note?
Yeah, it was just the remember it was just the payroll and
Okay, that's good.
yeah, it
I
was
feel like you've
supposed-
asked about the note 3 times now.
No, I only asked about it once. I remember. I just forgot. But that's okay. Because now we also have to decipher that fucking big book of plants.
That... Teacher would be a bigger help than the dwarf.
Yes.
Rika, here's the journal. Take that and that herbalist book you found to, what's it, Dietrich? Unless you also
Wait.
want to report everything too.
I mean, I don't think I need to be there, do I?
I don't
Well,
think so.
get
Hardwind,
herbalist
does she need to be here?
You can go.
I mean, if I need to be there, I can, but otherwise, sure, I could just bring this to Dietrich.
Oh, speaking of books, did I actually see mine? It's been a while, actually. Like, Hartman, has your father, or, yeah, Friedrich, has your father finished opening it yet?
Huh?
Did
Open
your
what?
father manage to get it open?
Open what?
My book.
Oh, your book?
Yes.
The thing's in the fucking ocean.
What?
They got lost, remember? Ship got fucked.
I mean, you're just seeing his face scrunch up in actual pain. Like a physical, spiritual pain. Okay.
Why are you so worried about it?
That
It's
is...
just a fucking herbalism book.
It was still my book, dude. It was still my book, Frederick. It was still my book.
Probably should have carried it then if it was your book.
Penelope?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
the one that took it from
Why are you so mad? Wait, why the fuck are you so mad? You can't even read.
Because it was still my book.
You can't fucking read it, mate.
If you had a horse, and okay, Frederick, can you ride a horse?
Yes.
Well then, that was a stupid question to ask, but still, if somebody killed your horse, would you not be at least a little annoyed?
Should you be
A
asking
horse is a
Arwen that?
living creature.
Still a possession
A
either
book
way.
is an inanimate object.
It was still my possession.
I think you're all missing the point
I'm
of that
still
books
somewhat
are
annoyed.
rather expensive.
That is well.
Oh, that
Should
is
have
true.
sold it. Instead of
Yeah, I
trying
probably
to
should
keep
have
onto
sold
it.
it.
I think this was
Still be
initially
having
why
sentimental value there. Just it's on the past.
Well,
I can't
it's gone now.
to get it anyway. So, Rika, would it be okay if I accompanied you to Dietrich to see what's in the new book you found?
Sure.
Thank you. On the way, I think I'm gonna stop by the mess hall and get a stiff drink.
Loud's mad, man.
Ah,
I would be too if the people that took the book away from me and blamed it on the other person said it was my fault.
I didn't blame it on him. I just said it sits at the bottom of the lake.
Listen,
He said it's his fault.
if
I mean,
If
I'm
you
not
get
trying
your
to
job-
badmouth your father about this one. Because again, I trusted him with the book.
But anyways,
About my daddy?
Oops.
He had my book and he lost it in the ocean.
Technically, sea monster lost it.
Going forward, you have Rika
Whatever.
and Lout going towards Dietrich, and then the others you're going to.
Yeah.
So, Hartwin, Frederick, did we never tell Lot until now about the bug going overboard?
I didn't think about it, more or less. I had a company to run.
Yeah, and I didn't care either way, to be honest.
I forgot about it, to be honest. My dad told me right when we were about to go off on our mission, and, well, he saw everything that happened, so thinking about a book was the last thing I cared about.
This was more significant than he grabbed his tools.
I guess I can feel for him, though. It is his possession.
But he just found it in a random mage's tent. What's the point of it?
Exactly.
Well, if it was an herbalism book, it would probably be worth around 5 gold or more. It's a rather hefty sum. It's definitely
Probably.
a peasant's wages for at least a whole lifetime.
Most likely will. If he really wants to, and he can probably sell that book back as a penance. A bit. Anyway, I don't really care much. Never cared for reading.
And we have a report to give.
Indeed.
Indeed.
I'm on.
Yeah. So, so you said you wanted to see Stalker or?
Yeah, check in on Stalker and see if he's holding up well.
Alright, yeah, eventually you'll find him still, at kind of like the medical tent under care. He's currently sleeping, but the surgeon will tell you that, over the past couple days, his fever has let up and he's been able to, because he lost kind of like most of his motor skills. But over the last couple days, he's starting to get his strength back.
That's good. I'll try not to bother him then. It's more rest.
Yeah. You just see him like laying there with his big ass hooked nose.
Shall we speak to the Lord Kruger?
Yes. Need to let him know what we found. It might be a little more trouble if we make too much more noise.
Indeed. Should I actually write out a report too, or no?
Unfortunately, as embarrassing it is to say, I do not know how to read myself, so I would imagine more in person would be preferable.
Indeed.
Yeah, so you guys make your way to the tent, and there's 2 guards outside of his tent, and they'll say, "Please, the Lord is in the progress of a very important meeting. It'll be but a couple minutes."
Very well. Just double check like what we have, because I still have the glaive and. Did we take one of the heads? I can't remember.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, because I took out a sack to stuff it in there.
So about 15 or so minutes pass by. You see you actually see a
Is it an elf?
all right, so you see a person walk out of Lord Kruger's tent, except he is towering over the party, except for Ian's character.
Yeah, tall.
But at he is not actually a person. He stands at about 6'6". He's wearing. This is kind of like the. He's wearing. This is not necessarily what he looks like, but
Sounds
The
like
honor.
a few inches taller.
Fucking shit.
Ooh.
Damn.
They are definitely not happy.
Yeah,
I mean
no.
that's not what he. That's not what he like. That's not his stance.
Oh yeah, no, I figured as much, but I doubt very much that any of the fucking elves are happy that humans are here.
No.
Yeah. So he stands about 6'6", wearing the armor such as in the picture. Huge antlers on top of his headgear, as in the picture. Chestnut-colored eyes with rich silver hair. He walks over. He walks out of the tent, and he walks past the group, and then he like completely passes the group, and then stops in his tracks, and then he glances towards Nylafi, and then he kind of like looks you up and down, and like kind of like grunts, and then quickly walks away.
Huh. That's important.
Something the matter between?
That's a traditional greeting, clearly. No, but I might need to talk to him later. You should deal with Kruger.
Yes.
But then the guards will let you after that happens.
I'll lead the way into the tent. Hello.
Yeah, you see him sitting, eating brunch, with a glass of wine, with his two brothers standing behind him, and then a couple of other lords around the table as well from different parties and whatnot. He says, we were just about to send a search party.
It's fortunate you did not. We have run into some rather questionably powerful creatures. The wyverns looked like some form of dragon or so, but as well as what seemed to be the good dwarf here calls Skaven, some form of beastmen, the more rat-like types that live underground in the mountains here. And I'll set the glaive down. Clearly armored and skilled in steel smithing, and I'll wave over to for the head bag, but won't open it up out of respect, since they're eating brunch. I just like hand it off to one of the brothers, like, obviously not the time to be showing such things just yet, but proof of the existence of what we've run into below there.
The brother without the tongue will kind of sniff the bag and then very hastily move his head away from it, and then look at the other brother in nauseous, showing it like, he has like a nauseous face basically. He says, just another obstacle to deal with, I see, in our... And he kind of like bites his lip. Glorious expedition. Says, Beastman, anything that deviants stem from ones we've encountered? History?
They seem a lot more frail, thankfully, aside from those that are clearly trained militia for what they have. We were fortunate to be able to set a great deal of what seemed like a civil war between factions on fire with a great deal of oil that had been spilt off from dwarven ruins. We do have a compatriot that we found down below who managed to survive the onslaught of these armies, but as far as I could tell, they are definitely not as organized and seem more interested in fighting each other for the time being, which gives us a good amount of breathing space. Also, the benefit of them being frail is we don't need to worry about their numbers. It's more an intimidation factor.
So is this companion, where is he? And then you just hear underneath, all right, here. It's like, oh, a dwarf. Like, and then he's just like, yeah, I really don't want. But yeah, yeah, he's just, he'll kind of basically back up what you're saying, but be very not politically correct about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do apologize for the vulgarities, but he does have a great deal of knowledge of the lands and other fortresses that might be nearby in the interests of what you're trying to gain.
Says, good, we will sit down. Perhaps these next couple days, Matt. He says, as long as I'm eating what you're eating and drinking, good night. And then it looks like he kind of, Kruger kind of bites his tongue. It's swell, then. Please, make yourself at home. He's like, well, this island is my fuck. And then he'll walk out of the tent.
Apologies, my lord. I should have braced more, but I figured urgency of the matter should be addressed in forewarning.
Is this not a bother? Dwarves will be dwarves, I suppose.
Indeed.
How many of these rat beastmen do you presume? Could we?
For what I saw between the factions fighting each other in what seemed like civil unrest was a couple hundred, maybe it would mass to 1,000 for what I saw in the tunnels down below, but they seemed the least worried. They seemed to be most threatened and feed the wyverns that take to the skies on occasion, so they seem to coalesce themselves on the mountains for now, but I would imagine one or the other will break eventually over time when they stop squabbling over each other.
Oh shit.
There we are. Yeah, I think Discord had a brief heart attack there.
Okay, is it working?
Yeah, it's cool.
Testing.
Alright,
Everyone.
there we go.
Yep. Okay. I think we're good.
That was fucking weird.
It was.
What a time to be alive.
When Discord fails.
Men will become monsters.
Alright, but yeah,
No, no.
last thing I said was he asked what numbers do you think they have, and if an assault would be wise.
From the amount of numbers in the creatures I saw there, it wasn't just the smaller, Skaven. There were a few surmisable sized ones, possibly as big as ogres. I could not account for how many of the larger creatures they have, but I could tell that they were used for the more larger assaults on each other's groups. They may number a good 1,000, possibly, if they were all to unite, but if we could keep them disrupted and keep them attacking each other, they might take care of themselves. But the other problem is if we are to attempt to gain ground on them, would be the larger lizards, possible wyverns that were there.
Yes, well, we definitely do not have the manpower to be fighting a full-scale war, especially in the thousands when we are just mere a couple hundred now.
Yes. This is why I was just possibly avoiding the rune for a brief time until we can get a better footing and understanding, and maybe even while they are multi-factions fighting amongst each other, might thin each other out greatly before we even have to worry about them.
Yes, well, I will discuss this with my advisors for the meantime. And you say a large beast. Do we know anything about this wyvern?
It did not
Got a hell of a tail.
Yes. It did not seem very intelligent, but very skilled at burrowing. It has homes in the ground. It definitely has wings as it took flight and kept watch over the area as we made our escape through one of the tunnels it dug into the Dwarven ruins. Overall...
Also seems...
Go ahead.
Also seems territorial, and that only attacked when things entered its land. So hopefully it stays in that hole.
Precisely.
Well, I will have our engineers create ballistas for defenses just in case.
Go fuck
But,
asleep.
Would be wise.
Wait, sorry, what?
Sorry. Thought I heard snoring.
You do.
So somebody fell asleep.
It's the
Yeah, that's my wife.
Oh,
She's a
okay.
beast. She's a beast. Yeah, so he'll say, he'll have some engineers build a couple of ballistas for defense. But he says, I'd try to keep this to yourselves. I do not want any glory-hungry heroes dividing our forces on a death hunt or a death wish.
Of course not. We need to keep everyone well protected. We could worry about glory after we have a strong foothold now.
And then he says, and as you probably saw exiting the tent, we were visited by, I guess you would say, an emissary of the elvish population that has lived here. Things did not go well, let's say. They did not go well, but they went as expected.
Presumed as much. I'm kind of glancing at Nala briefly. I've heard of some very sour negotiation between elves before.
Yes, they are quite uncompromisable. And then he'll kind of look at Nylafi, but won't really say anything. And he'll say, they, of course, will not tell us their position, or will they even talk about trade negotiations between our camp and their settlement. I think it was more of a show of force than anything. But we will leave that as it is for now.
Of course.
But he says, you have a couple of days rest. You've rightfully earned it. I will get with my advisors and take matters from there, and we will see where this leads us.
Of course. I'll make sure everything is in tip-top shape while I'm here.
He says yes, but I think I'm about done with my brunch. I think I have some business to discuss with Nylafi here, if I could be given the room.
Of course. I'll bow, and as I pass by the brother, make sure everything's down before you show them that head.
Then, I mean, he won't talk because he doesn't have a tongue, but he'll nod his head.
You're just not.
Yeah, your fucking rank ass bag with the fucking Skaven head.
He actually probably put it underneath the flap and put it outside.
Yeah, I don't blame him. This shit's horrible. Oh god.
Yeah, all the nobles and stuff will shuffle out. And he'll look at Nylafi and say, "Did you exchange words with our guest?"
A brief nod, and then he walked on.
So he's pretty abrupt and not very, as I say, not very compromising. He really did not ask for anything. He just sat there while we tried to speak to him, and he mostly shut down every request that we made of trying to be civil between the two. Says, you of course know your people better than anyone. Do you think you could speak to him?
I'll certainly try. What requests did you ask of him?
Just to, of course, know his settlement's location for future trading, future possible trading missions. If we are both going to be on this island, I would rather it be on friendly terms and not in suspicion of each other's ambitions and future actions. Says, I would just like for you to put in a good word for us and tell him that we are not here to harm him or his people. We are just explorers.
Right. And how much am I permitted to share with them involving the reason we're here, more or less?
I would say as much as you feel you need to.
Right. I'll try to keep things under wraps, however, if it's possible.
Says, excellent. Well, report to me when you can.
Understood.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
She does that she does that all the fucking time. It's fucking creepy. But switching over to the other group, Lout, you're able to find the mess hall, which is currently serving alcohol.
Okay, can I get like 5 tankards? I assume for what, like Dietrich, Rika, and me. For like Dietrich, Rika, and Mika, she's a drink.
Rika, okay, yeah. So 5 drinks.
Yep.
Sure, yeah. They'll give it to you free of charge because, well, that fish you brought in for them earlier.
Thank you. And I'm just gonna chug 3 back after I hand Rika her 1.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Sips.
Rick, after Loud takes you to the mess hall and gets you a drink. What are you doing next?
Gonna go see Dietrich, where the hell he is.
Alright, Monty, make me 3 consume alcohol checks.
Awesome.
Oh, Jesus. Passed out.
I remember how these went last time. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Both sides of the spectrum. And just a failure.
Okay,
Shit. Those cancel each other out.
no. It's based on individual tests. It's not like degrees of success or anything.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like fuck twice.
Alright, so you have a minus 20 to weapon skill, ballistic skill, agility, and dex intelligence.
Wonderful.
So you're probably pretty tipsy about now.
Alright, Rika, let's go. And just before I take this, I'm just gonna hand her like, here. Can you take Dietrich as well? I'm feeling very relaxed right now. And I think my hand's a bit too relaxed to hold this steadily.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
That's probably a good idea.
Very carefully hand it over to Rika, and then pull my hand back.
Yeah, so you probably go to, you probably find Dietrich in like the scholars tent where all the nerds hang out. And yeah, you just kind of see him with just kind of leaning over some books and some parchment and writing.
Dietrich!
Jesus!
Shush! Shush!
Sigma, what is going on here?
Hi,
Did you not
Dietrich.
see the sign? It says, "Do not yell."
I'm sorry, but I can't read.
Of
He
course.
can't read. He's also pretty drunk, I think. Here,
Only
he got this for you.
Oh. Well, Lout, it's a very nice offer, but I currently cannot drink while I am in my studies. Once I start, I can simply not stop. And
Unfortunately.
there's too much work to be done. But here, have another. You drink it.
Wonderful.
Alright, make me,
Alright,
make me another one.
nice.
Okay, never mind. You're good.
Oof.
Okay, yeah.
Piss
That drink does not affect you at all, but you're still tipsy.
Refreshing.
And he says, I thought you were on a field expedition.
We just got back.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna-
actually.
I'm just gonna
Harboring
lean in.
any good news, any treasure?
I'm just gonna lean in and whisper in his ear. We found. Okay, keep it a secret. We found a bunch of rat men and a fucking wyvern.
Beastmen here. That is quite.
I'm just gonna mush into him.
And he'll whisper, that is quite unsatisfactory.
Extremely. Also, there's a dwarf. We brought him back. He's been shit-talking Nylaby this entire time. It's great.
A dwarf? I must speak with him. A wyvern? This is so overwhelming. What did you find? A settlement of some sort?
They were some old dwarven ruins that looked like they'd been taken over by these rat things.
Piles of rat shit everywhere.
It was really gross.
Extremely.
This is quite unusual. And he'll say, and he'll like walk over to like a little bookshelf that they've set up, and he'll start going through like, I don't know, like this big ass tome. So I do not record or see anything about dwarves having settlements on this island, or even suggest.
They buried it pretty deep.
I was under the impression this was a elven utopia of sorts that they kept to themselves.
Well, maybe Sigmar had a sense of humor when he placed the elves and the dwarves here.
Perhaps. There's so many unanswered questions.
Oh, I also found these books here. One of them is a it's like a, well, it's got information about different types of plants on the island.
And
it's
he'll
in
like
Dwarvish,
run
though,
over.
so I can't.
He'll like run over, and then he won't even let you finish the sentence, and he'll like snag it from your hand, and then just like flip to the middle of the page and say, "It is marvelous."
I'm just gonna
I thought you'd be
peer over
excited.
his shoulder.
Oh, I also found this other one. It's a journal by this Bernard Halberstam fellow. It's not too.
He'll just throw the book that he's holding like, behind
Can I
him.
roll the
And he'll,
caption
like-
book?
You say what?
Can I try to catch the herbal book he threw?
Sure. What do you think you could roll for that?
Athletics.
Yeah.
Agility.
Roll me an athletics check, minus 20. Because of your.
Shit.
Nope.
Shit-facedness. Oh my god.
I
Alright.
got it.
So, he throws the book behind him, and you just see Monty like try to follow the book, but like trips under his own feet and like crashes and splits the book case in half, and like all the books and the shelf like fall on top of him, burying him. Dietrich doesn't give a fuck, but he's just like opening the book that, or like the journal that you gave him.
I mean, you can see a hand come up from under the books with a thumb raised up. And a muffled,
I'm gonna run over and pull him out of the pile of books, and then just push him aside and start like trying to fix it.
Yeah, you try to like lift the bookcase up, but just like half of it in the middle just go limp, and then you just hear the wood like basically split.
I
and,
forget
like,
how I did. I'm trying to figure out how I did that now.
Like he just like totally he totaled this bookshelf.
Oops. Sorry.
I
Says,
hope none of the books are damaged.
this changes things. This changes a lot of things. I presumed he was dead many, many years ago, but this journal is dated 5 years ago. He was at this island, or someone that knew him or carried his possession was at this island 5 years ago.
Well,
It could be possible he's still here, but where? Where's the question?
well,
In the ruin? Dead?
possibly. But there's also a very good chance He's been eaten. I don't want to rain. I don't want to rain on your parade, Dietrich. But that is a more than likely scenario, assuming he was on this island.
I must speak with this dwarf about the matters. Did he say anything? Did you bring this to his attention?
The journal?
Yes, the journal.
I don't think I did. He was pretty, out of it most of the time.
He just runs out of the tent.
Oh, and he's gone. Okay.
I'm gonna follow him. I want to hear the dwarf insult Nilothy again. And you see my drunk and stumbling out after Dietrich.
So as you guys leave the tent, two scholars come in right after you, and you go, "What the hell happened to my shelf?"
You want the whole truth?
No.
Just gonna back out. The tent.
I already left before you. I was following Dietrich.
But yeah, Tia, you now see him just kind of running around the camp looking for a dwarf. And he's not even he's just yelling. He's like, "Dwarf! Dwarf, Master Dwarf!" And then a dwarf will come out of the tent. The dwarf comes out of the tent he is triple fisting alcohol. And he's already drunk. And falls face first into the sand.
Wait, can I try to save the booze?
Sure, make an athletics check. -20.
I'm trying to save shit.
What? It's funny, man. If I get it right. The booze!
It is
No!
just falls into the sand, and it is wasted. The ultimate party foul.
No! And I just collapse on the ground, pounding on the sand.
Dietrich will
pure sadness.
he'll kick your side, tap your side, have some respect for yourself, and then he'll walk over and
good alcohol, sir.
He'll walk over and start tending to the dwarf.
Okay, we should pick up the mugs. Might as well return to the mess hall later.
I would help him with the dwarf.
He just sets him up in a tent. He says, "Well, I will ask him questions another time then, but I will do some research about this journal, possible things I maybe missed, but I will also start to tend to decoding that journal, or that book that you've given me. It will come in quite useful."
Cool.
And then he'll put the dwarf to bed and then walk back to his tent.
I'm just gonna look to see if the dwarf's turned on his side. So there's chokers on the bottom or something.
Yeah, he's on his side.
Perfect.
No,
Alright.
Recovery position.
Well, Rika, I believe that's all we can do for today. Unless you have other plans, I'm going to return these mugs to the mess hall. And maybe get something to eat.
Yeah, food sounds nice.
Mm.
Then probably sleep.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Alright. Heading to mess hall, turn these mugs.
What is the rest of the party doing?
I'm on a quest to go talk to the fucking wood elf, apparently.
I'm turning in the equipment that I had. Does not belong to me.
Okay. What about Harwin?
I am actually seeking Frederick's father and seeing if he can't repair my somewhere.
Okay. Let's see. Alright, we'll start with Matt first.
Fuck.
Sorry.
You said it, Percy?
Alright, so you catch the elf, about to leave the camp. Like, he's on the very edges of the camp and he's starting to walk away.
I'll fast walk to catch up, you know? Not like a jog, but between a walk and a jog.
Hey, where the fuck you going?
So he'll kind of sense your presence, I guess, and without even looking at you, he says, "What, do you wish to return to your rightful place among your people?"
I wish to ask some questions to figure out what's going on and figure out what your stance is on these things.
Says, "What are these words?" And he's talking obviously in Elvish.
Oh yeah, same fam.
And he says, "Whose questions are these? Whose words are these? Yours? Or these humans?"
For now, they're mine. I'm Nilofi from Athelloren, and right now I'm working with the Wood Elves of the Lorelorn Forest. What band do you belong to? Or what band is this island from?
And they say, "I have not heard of the forest in many, many years. How do they fare?"
Athelloren's doing just fine, remaining independent, occasional beastmen, greenskins, and rowdy dwarves. The usual. They fare fine. Lorelorn Forest continues to remain subtle with their neighboring humans, guiding them along occasionally, but they're also doing fine.
Oh yeah, then they also I think they just got done with a war with which one? Wait, who are we talking about?
Which one's what now?
The
Lorelorn.
Yeah, Lorelorn. Yeah, they just I think at the beginning of the game they just ended a war about 5 years ago with the Empire, or the northern section of the Empire.
Gotcha. The Lorelorn Forest also recently finished their war 5 years ago with Northern Imperials, or Northern Empire human.
See, nothing has changed then. Well, he says, "My name is Tharadak. I am from a small elf settlement called Themar. We have been here for many, many years. We plan to keep it that way. We will not allow these humans to trespass for which they belong, or where they do not belong. We let the dwarves come, let things play out, and look how it ended. Or you wouldn't know about such things. I forget you're not from here. War broke out.
War of Dwarves, or have I heard that before?
Yes,
Typical of them.
This was not meant for neither dwarves, humans, nor halflings, or the ratmen that now infest the caverns below. The gods grant us these lands many years ago. And we have failed to protect it, to say the least. But we will fail no more.
Might I make a suggestion then for these humans? They're here on an expedition to find treasure that may or may not exist. And are you familiar with a human named Bernard Halberstam?
I also have not heard that name in many, many years as well. Says I was good friends with him, the only human friend I would ever, most likely will ever make. And then you might remember that, it might click in your mind that this is one of the elves that Dietrich mentioned was
Oh shit, yeah.
found in the ruins.
Early, when I first met these people, you can check some ruins in the north. And your name was mentioned, Thorodok, right? As a friend.
Yes. We showed him our lands, the only human to ever reach the forest or the jungles we call home, or any other elf, any creature other than an elf. He's the only non-elf that I think I can ever trust. For some time he tried to barter peace between us and the dwarves, but it failed. He quickly, in his failure, he quickly retreated into the jungle. Even unknown, his location is unknown to us. But he was a scholar, so it is. I am not surprised that his works reached all the way to the mainlands. And treasure, there is treasure on this island. But it is not treasure that any sane man, elf, dwarf will be able to obtain. And the treasure that we hold, well, we will not hand it over easily. These islands have been left by our gods, and due to this, others have taken their place. I think you know which gods I speak of.
I have a few hunches, yes. Would explain some of the Skaven match we've seen. At least these.
It is just one byproduct of their design, I suppose. They also torment us. They do not allow us to get home. I'm surprised that you were even able to reach here without all succumbing to the sea and the creatures that lurk below.
It was quite the ordeal getting here. Storm, walls, giant sea monsters, massive waves.
Yes. But we have one line of defense left, and which is why this island has not been turned into a barren wasteland. But unfortunately, I do not wish to disclose this information, as I am still unsure whose side you are on.
I understand. And pains me to say it, I'm somewhat aligned with the humans. To some degree, anyway. A couple of them are good. rest, it remains to be seen. And I'm instructed by Laurel Lorne, just keep an eye on them and observe. Hopefully I'll see them again.
If this is the case, understand that any action they take, you will be connected to.
I figured as much.
I do not plan on sharing our whereabouts to this Lord. I can only imagine what he could do with such information. Humans, although predictable and controllable, sometimes can oftentimes surprise you when greed and treasure is in the mix.
Exactly. I would suggest to at least consider having a trade post of some sort away from any settlements. That way you can at least appease them enough to avoid further conflict, if any. With everything you've said about this island, the less fights we have to fight, the better.
And pass this on to your lord. Ask him how he plans on taking this treasure back to his empire alive when trying to get back past the monstrous sea that you no doubtly lost many to. Actually, how did you even find this place?
I am not completely sure. I have a leading theory or two. They used some of the works of Halberstam they found, and it appears there is an artifact of some sort at play. I was off the main ship, of course, but whenever I noticed the flagship meeting up, they had some device, most likely Elvish make, to guide them. Though it led them in circles for a couple months.
Yes. This place is never at one place. It's never at one place at a time. It was designed that way to ensure that people such as the humans would have a hard time finding it. But as I've seen, that they have mastered our ways of navigation here. This really changes everything. I cannot let such a valuable artifact be held in the hands of the humans or any other race. The dwarves were able to get their hands on one, and look, they infested the place. If you could somehow retrieve this artifact for me, I think it would save many lives.
I'll definitely consider that option, but I'll need a practical moment to do so. I imagine it's heavily guarded and very important. Especially if they believe it's the way to get out as well. Let's get in.
If you get me this artifact, I may possibly know a way to get you home. But it's a one-way trip without the navigation device. You will most likely never find your way back.
Yep.
Well,
Beyond that, though, what do you plan to do with the humans in the meantime? Just sit back and observe, or what?
I'm gonna speak to the council, and then we will decide from there.
All right.
But
And
I will give you a couple of weeks.
understood.
He says, leave any message here, and he'll give you a position like within the jungle to leave any sort of message. He says, just remember who are your kin, and those that will use you and dispose of you when they are done with you. And then he'll just kind of walk off.
On that note, now if you shall return to camp then. With a lot of questions and trying to find some answers.
Alright, and then Frederick, you get back. You're part of the camp. Oh, sorry, Frederick. You get back to your part of the. I have like the habit of like walking around, but I can't do
That's
that
fine.
with this one. You get back to camp, and like you're part of camp, and you said you give back the equipment.
Yeah, I hand over the equipment that belonged to the dead soldiers, and also their tags.
The sergeant from the like the raft died, right?
Yup.
Okay, just making sure. So yeah, I won't give this guy a name, but he'll yeah, like one of the like the leaders, like one of the sergeants will send you to the what are they called? Can't think of the title, but the guy that deals with all the gear.
Quartermaster?
Yeah, the quartermaster. And you turn it in. And he says, I have already got a report from Lord Kruger, and I think you will be happy to hear this.
Sure.
There are, as you know, we have brought many fresh initiates with us, you included, to complete their training here, and also feel their sense of adventure. Well, your time of being an initiate is over. Says you are due for a promotion tomorrow morning at sunrise.
I see. It's an honor. I'll definitely do well.
He says, and when they come after you, just let it happen. It will be a lot easier on your part for you.
Let it happen.
And then he'll just laugh and walk away.
Oh no.
Yeah, I care that I know my ass is about to get hazed. But Richard doesn't know that. He's just like, well, I guess let it happen. He's gonna let it happen. And I'm gonna go back to my father because I also need my shit repaired. Because it took a critical hit for me.
You probably see Hartwin already talking to your dad, and he says, he says that he'll probably have your sword ready in a couple days, as he has some other, equipment he has to attend to as well.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable. I'll ask him too if, amongst the other equipment, if he has anything to be able to make a chainmail chassis and plate mail bracers.
He says, unfortunately not. As you've most likely heard, our Or
Most of that shit got sacked, unfortunately.
yeah, but most of our supplies are at the bottom of the ocean. Our greatest chance of anything like that is somehow getting a trade ship through that nasty sea and back, but I don't know.
Doubt it.
There's possibly something that you may wish to bring up, as myself and all the other trade masters are having trouble doing with what we have.
I'll see what I can do. Figured I'd ask it. If there's anything extra, I could probably try and get for the rest of the trade masters. See if something can be finagled. Working on a tight ship for now.
And then he'll look at his son and say, how was your expedition? Says, I was getting worried.
Oh, ooh, my fucking Lord. I lived.
He'll look at Hartman. This one's always a smartass.
A brave one, though.
Any monsters in the dark that you fought off this time?
Quite a few. A lot of rats.
He'll kind of like laugh. Rats! Like the ones you find in the cellar.
No, the ones that do this, I'm gonna pull down like my breastplate, and I'm gonna show them like the fucking wicked ass bruise I have on my arm where I got zapped.
What is that? What is that awful wound? You should get that before it.
I got electrocuted.
Electrocuted? Rats electrocuted you?
Indeed they did. The sizable ones. More like beastmen than rats.
And so their plague is far, far more spread than I thought.
Indeed.
Right, well.
But at least of our worries. There's a fucking wyvern on that mountain. Almost got us.
Far more terrifying than anything else we saw down there, aside from the massive ogre ones.
He'll just kind of like laugh. He's like, "You are pulling my chain. You are saying you faced off a wyvern and survived."
Definitely not.
We didn't fight it. We hid.
But obviously keep this between yourselves.
Oh. Of course, do not wish to create another boogeyman on this island. Not after the elves showed up. Tensions are high. As he looks at like all the guards that are posted on the outside.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Also, did you break the news to your friend about his book?
Yeah, I told him. I forgot to tell him before we went off. Told him when we just got back. He wasn't drinking anything.
Possible it maybe held some sentimental value to him.
Doubt it.
So he figured it was more the value. It was from what he said, a rather significant herbology book. Would have fetched a fine price.
Well,
All the good the coin does is out here.
Well, I will attend to your armor and your sword, but it may take maybe a day or two to complete with the other orders that I have.
Understandable. We are definitely in no rush to go back out there anytime soon.
I'm not either, but they'll probably throw me back out there soon enough.
We shall see. We have other matters to attend to diplomacy-wise.
Indeed. But for now, I'm gonna go the fuck to sleep. Because now I don't have to worry about something shanking me.
I'm going to have a quick wash in the ocean.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Smells fucking rank.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure everyone was kind of standing back from you guys.
Oh yeah. If they don't believe the story, the smell tells all.
But yeah. So, is there any like last thing that you guys wish to do before the day ends?
Nothing I need to do.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I can't think of much. Fuck. A lot on my plate now, god damn it. Oh shit, that's my short-term goal completed.
Yeah.
I can find the goddamn elves.
You said, "Why are you a bait?"
What?
You said, "Why are you bait?"
No. I think I said I have a lot on my plate. And also, I got my short-term goal complete.
Nice.
Now I gotta think of a fucking new one.
My short term, it seems like it's gonna take a little bit.
I just put down escape and return to camp alive, so I'm good on mine.
Well, my first short term has been around for quite a bit. It's gained money from my father's shop. I think it may have been completed by now, but I don't know.
Probably.
Like a workshop.
For his business, just in general.
Oh, okay. Because if you were trying to like buy him like a brand new workshop, that would be like a shit.
That'd be
ton of
long
money.
term.
Yeah, that would definitely be a long-term goal.
My long term is fucking set for life.
Okay. All right. So as the sun is going down, everyone's tending to their business. Lau, do you end up drinking more, or do you kind of stop?
Mom?
El manto.
Oh, whoops, wrong one. Not gonna drink. Gonna eat some bread. Hopefully to like absorb some of the alcohol. Then I'm gonna go out and fish next to camp. Assume there's like a river nearby.
Okay. What was that? That was survival, right?
Yep.
Make me a survival check.
Was it 2 fish for every success level?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was also gonna ask. Do I get anything for using the fishing rod I got?
No, that lets you do it basically.
Mm-hmm.
I was
That's
doing
actually another good short.
Alright.
Great. Yeah. So I'd say this is probably like during like the sun's coming down and you're you catch in your first fish. Maybe what is it? This is like a span of a couple hours, right? If I remember
2
correctly.
hours.
Yeah. So around the last hour, you reel in another fish, and hold on, I gotta find something. Okay. You hear like the ocean waves, coming in, coming out, and as you reel in your fish and possibly put in like a little bag that you have, you look off to the side and you see something buried in the sand next to you.
Okay, I'm gonna dig it up.
Oh my god.
My god.
Jesus, you really get it back.
You dig it out of the sand, and it's obviously all wet and has a bunch of like wet sand on it and all this other bullshit. But you pull it out, and this is what pops up out of the sand.
Oh,
Oh my
Is also
God.
magically unlocked.
No.
still fucking locked.
And it seems like the water hasn't done anything to it. Like it's like
This is
I'm
beautiful.
That's
I fucking
Fair.
love this.
fucking book. I'm gonna spend the next like 10 minutes just fucking staring at this book. Before I put it in my bag, put it in my bag and bury it at the very bottom of my fucking bag.
That's amazing.
Well, I think one day I'm gonna get like a harness made, like I had this thing strapped to my body at all times, just to make sure.
Alright, and that is the end of the day.
Fucking astounding.
Is this bold world for Lout in the future? Well, we will find out.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Not if someone sees that book, because that thing should be around here.
You're my only hope, Obi-Wan. Shit!
Alright, so the night passes.
Right, I'm gonna take one of the fish. I'm gonna take the fish to the mess hall again. Gotta earn my keep, man.
Like, oh, Lout, you're too kind. Yeah, take another drink.
You know what? I would have to say no to the drink. I would not say no to a meal of fish.
Well, it's the least I could do. He says, just give me a couple minutes.
No problem.
And then he'll cook you up a good fish recipe with some sides, and with eating rations the last week or so, it's a pretty good refreshing.
And especially without having to smell rat shit everywhere, so I actually taste the food.
Yeah.
Instead of tasting rat shit.
Damn.
I mean, let's face it, that smell was so heavily in the air, that's all you could fucking taste, really.
Uh-oh.
I feel like you just go nose blind after the first 30 minutes in there.
Oh,
You wish.
you wish.
First couple hours, probably.
Yeah.
Then
There's
something
the one smell
else
that never goes
disgusting
away.
shows up and it gets
Yeah.
thrown in there too.
And then
Yeah, it's pissed.
as you're eating your meal, you look off in the corner of the mess tent, and you see Hess like out of uniform. He's just in his like casual wear, and he has 5 cups of presumably alcohol next to him as he's kind of throwing up in the corner into the sand.
Oh.
Alright. I'm gonna finish my meal and check on my buddy Hess.
Oh, PTSD. It's nice, isn't it, buddy?
Hess, you okay?
And he kind of responds, like obviously like super fucking drunk, and he can't really make out what he says, and then he like rolls over again and throws up again.
Alright, I'm just gonna, if his hair is too long enough for him, I'm gonna hold it back for him. Otherwise, I'm just gonna like rub his back and tell him, "You're okay. You're okay."
Yeah, I'd say he
My
has
fault.
like shoulder length hair.
Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure it's not getting in the way of his mouth, so he's not puking on it. You're okay. You're okay.
And he's like, and then he'll basically just in drunkenness, basically just like cry and then fall asleep.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of worried about him, so I'm gonna turn him on this side and make sure he doesn't fly. Get him spending the night, make sure he doesn't drown in his own vomit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the mess hall guy will walk to you and say, "I can help him. I can help you take him to his tent."
I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. We're just gonna carry him over to his tent, wherever that might be.
Yeah, it's just like it's kind of like near your guys' tent on the eastern side of camp
Okay.
of the beach. But yeah, Yeah, you put him. You put him in bed, and then someone outside will say, "Ah, that poor bastard. We heard what happened."
It was pretty awful, yes.
Yeah, he says Waldner was one of his best mates, along with the others, but
Oh,
it's a soldier's life. He will eventually. That sorrow will turn into hate and make him into a better soldier.
true enough. And I guess I'm just gonna stay here a bit, make sure he's not. I'm gonna make sure he's like propped up, on his side, all that good shit. Before I get like a pitcher of water and some bread, so I can eat it in the morning.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah, and then so you like tend to him, and then everything's good on that end. The night passes, and it's now early morning. Frederick, you probably were either maybe woke up early, or were woken up early to get you ready for your promotion.
So is this happening as a public event or like?
Yeah, it's a public event.
Okay, I guess I'm helping Hess up and feeding him some bread and water to help with his hangover.
Okay. Lauti. He said, well, he'll basically like thank you and say that he owes you one.
All right, I'll make sure to collect on it. I'll make sure to collect on it in a way that's fun for both of us.
That sounds like you're gonna suck his dick.
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
Well, hopefully I won't have to collect on it anytime soon. So that.
Yeah, he'll just, he's kind of like, I guess kind of delusional from his hangover, but he'll
Exactly.
say, "Oh, well, let's go see this promotion that's going on." And then Frederick, yeah, you were just basically told like not having your uniform, you're basically a uniform on, so I think the colors were like, yellow and blue.
Yep.
And then you're kind of like lined up in a formation with about, say like 5 others. And mostly the people that showed up are like other members of the company.
Can I fucking watch this?
Yeah, I mean you can come. It's like an open event, but it's just like most people wouldn't really care, except if it was like their company or something.
Not if he's just there somewhere in the crowd. Probably sticks out kind of like a sore thumb.
Oh yeah.
Definitely there to watch myself.
Okay.
I look really uncomfortable when I'm on stage, though.
Yeah, so the like the company, like you have Hartwin, who is not like currently like he like oversees the company, but you still have like the company sergeant and sergeants, other ranks and officers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the company officers will kind of stand out in front of the formation and read off a warrant. It's your what you would expect from something like this. Reading off like your new duties of being a bona fide state trooper to the Empire and also to Nordland, and basically just talks about the heroism that you guys have displayed as well over the past couple months for your training, and that most of you should have earned this promotion a couple months back as well when you proved yourself. But they will walk, and they have like a couple people standing next to the formation with plate armor and also sigils. And they'll walk up to you and shake your hand, and they will put a basically the symbol of Nordland on kind of like pin it to your chest, and then also give you a patch to sew onto your sides, and then they will also strap the plate armor onto you. And then they kind of like dismiss the company.
They strap plate armor onto us?
Yeah. Cause that's like that's like standard gear for the like real
breastplate and shit.
Yeah, like breastplate, plate armor.
But not like the arms and the legs and helmet.
No, not all that. Just the breastplate.
No. Just breastplate. No. Finally go up a career. Now I'm a soldier, ma.
And your dad will obviously come up to you and like shake your hand and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. He just really wants to get off the stage. He hates fucking shit like this.
So anyone come up to him as a lot of people from the company are also like, shaking your hand and congratulating you and stuff. And they're all like smirking at like you and all the other newly promoted people very suspiciously.
I'm just gonna watch it, get waiting.
He keeps her distance, coolly absorbing.
And so like basically like the whole company will kind of, or like the actual state troopers will kind of surround the five of you and say, "Let's take a walk, fellas. Head towards the tents."
And like getting where what he said, just let it happen, triggers in his brain. Now he's just gonna roll his eyes. Like, okay.
Alright, so you're taken to like the eastern part of the camp, right, where your guys' camp is.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "There's one last tradition we do here." And one of the guys will pull up his sleeve on his arm, and you'll see the branding of the Norland sigil on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Who's first?"
I just like roll up my sleeve and just say, "Go ahead."
And they all kind of like laugh. And he says, what is the word I'm trying to think of? I just had a brain fart. But they'll laugh. They'll kind of like taunt you a little bit, but it's just kind of like playing around. And they'll like kind of like obviously like kind of hold you down, and then they like start heating up the brand, and they brand your arm. Make me a toughness check.
And could I do endurance?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously it hurts, it's a branding, but you take it fairly well. You don't faint, like the person that besides you. He's like, starts screaming, "Ah!" And then he'll just like pass out. And then they'll all kind of start cheering once all you guys are branded, and then start like again shaking your hands and start pouring drinks, and it's on your right hand or your right arm, like forearm.
Mm-hmm.
above the wrist.
Got you.
It's
Yeah,
probably,
I guess
it's probably like
I just
it's
try to
probably like
celebrate.
a good 4 inches in length.
Oh, yeah, that's. Yep, I can see why that got passed out.
God damn.
Shit hurt. Well, I fucking passed my dad, so I would have been screaming like a bitch. But, that's okay.
Oh, and
Hmm?
yes, what do you guys do?
I
Other
mean,
question. Are you gonna keep razzing Frederick?
Sorry, what?
I was asking whether they're gonna keep razzing Frederick.
Oh no, eventually it kind of like dies down. Everyone just kind of, goes off to do their morning duties, as there's still work to be done in the patrol.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna try to find, now if you Frederick and Hartman and apologize for my behavior yesterday. The remarks I may have said in anger.
It's fine. We lost the book. It's understandable.
So, Lot apologized to Naothi. Are we confirming that?
Yeah, he did. I thought you said fuck you.
Naothi glances at Lot, kind of absently, Well, it's what I expect from you these days. He doesn't even fucking look necessarily. More lost in thought. That makes sense?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not detecting the same level of, that underlying level of contempt, so I'm gonna ask something on your mind?
Don't talk to me.
Yeah, that's
There
about
we go.
it. You usually stay.
Well, everything seems back to normal then.
Man, it feels like it's on fire.
I can see that.
As you guys are talking, you notice a priest will come up to the group. Says, remember, as I've been saying all week, I am having a special sermon tonight. Do not miss it. The gods will be watching on who shows and who does not.
Who is your priest?
Which god?
Sigmar.
Okay.
Of course.
I believe I'll definitely be attending that myself.
Good.
Definitely some form of divine protection from the amount of what we've been through recently.
If
That'd
you
be
elf,
helpful.
if you wish to convert, I can help you with that. But he doesn't really wait for your response. He kind of knows what you would say, so he just walks away.
Oof.
He's just
Hartwin.
throwing the Bible at you.
Literally. Read it, heathen. Yes, Nyla.
How do I get a meeting with Lord Kruger?
I would imagine just
Ask.
yes, addressing his brothers or attempting to speak with him. Obviously, probably doing one of his times of relaxation and dining, but I would definitely seek somewhere in between when the rest of the lords have either left or seem to be having a little bit more of a jovial time.
Alright. Thanks.
He seems rather amiable towards many of the situation, though. I can understand things were a bit tense the other day.
The situation demands it.
Yes.
So, now if you make a perception check.
Oh, fuck.
Your bro's waiting for you in the woods.
He's just watching. You snitching, bitch.
Alright,
Why are you talking to that short thing? It looks like a goblin. I'm a man, you fuck!
It's
So
like the
you-
product of a dwarf and a halfling.
You glance out into the jungle, and something kind of catches your eye. And you actually, before he disappears, you see a glimpse of actually another wood elf kind of on the perimeter, looking like he's obviously like observing the camp. And then when you kind of look in his direction, he kind of quickly disappears into the jungle.
Oh, then. Anyway, see you around, Harwin. Let me go try and talk to Lord Kruger.
I think before the sermon, I think I'll go enjoy some fresh, relaxing fishing.
I guess I might as well join you on that one. And like at this point, Frederick has like a mug, and his hand is in the mug.
Soak the wound.
I'm gonna put
I think I actually want to take Hess fishing too, to help him like clear his mind.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put the whole Kruger thing probably till next session,
Yeah, no problem.
because that's probably gonna take a good amount of time. But we
In
can.
that case, I'll just go fishing.
Oh, crew
Right.
fishing! Fishing crew! Fishing crew!
All right, here goes.
Somebody get Rika!
We need a boat, man. Maybe something big.
I'll extend the invitation to Rika if she wants to come fishing.
Danny, are you present?
Yes. What?
Rika fishing with party.
Sure.
All right, everyone, roll me a survival check.
Yeah. Fishing
Hey, I
crew.
just got that added onto my thing. I'm gonna fucking suck.
Don't worry, mine's awful.
Oh damn.
But you know what? I'll fortune it because why the fuck not?
I'll fortune mine.
Same.
We're having a relaxing day.
Damn.
Oh my
Shit.
I'm on fire!
Fucking what?
18
Yeah, my
fish,
hand-
boy! Let's go!
My hand's like too fucked to be fishing right now.
What was it? It's 2 every degree, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so 18 fish.
Like, how
Hartwig
you
just
get
fucking goes out there and she's like, this is how you fucking do it, boy! Yeah! And just
I
casting
mean,
it
I'm
right
just gonna
out.
blame
real-
not catching him catching everything else.
Yeah, it seems like Hartwin is taking all the luck or all the fish during your
You know what, fishy?
2 hour fishing venture.
You see Navi with a line in the water and all, but just doesn't seem to care, you know?
Are you using the right
I
bait?
mean, me and Hess are just like, we're just watching fucking Hartman yanking these bastards out of the water.
The guy with the fishing pole is watching a guy with just a hook and line.
That just makes it even more impressive, man.
He's just throwing the hook through the fish and yanking it.
Exactly.
I've seen that.
He's fucking spearing them. It's practice.
Line is a fish about to bite mine. His line lands right next to it, and it snaps up his instead of mine.
Let me roll Hess's.
Yeah, Hess might get a fucking wildfire.
Probably pass.
He might pass.
What is survival based off of?
So I think that's
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Intelligence.
Never mind, he might not make it.
Okay, no, he doesn't. He doesn't catch any fish.
Hot damn.
It's like, oh well.
All right.
Yes, there's always next time.
Blowing up
Yeah.
the fishing spot.
Take mine, though.
Dynamite.
The crew comes back from the.
I mean, I'm just gonna ask Hartman if he needs help carrying all this goddamn fish.
Were you gonna ask something, Ian? I heard that. Hey, Hartwin.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What's also going on? Are we friends? What are we?
Huh? I
Uh,
guess that gets everyone to stop. It's like, huh?
I think I know. I think I know where.
Just staring at this elf.
with
You
that,
too, Frederick. Are we friends?
You guys are the only friends I've ever had, so yes.
after everything we've been through, I would say yes, most definitely.
Right. That's about it for me. Hang on.
If something ails your mind, you can talk to me.
What's on my mind I can't talk about. I appreciate the gesture, though.
Fair enough.
Pow.
God damn.
What's going on?
Yeah, he's fucking up there. But, if you ever need help with anything, don't be afraid to ask. I've been through a lot.
We have been through a lot. Gone through the ruins, the Beastmen, fun times. The river raft ride, the boat ride.
Oh, yes, the good old trolls.
Oh, wonderful beasts they are.
Like a repugnant obese sea siren that ate too many souls.
I'm gonna fast forward to the
Yeah.
Yeah,
the priest just because on a good bit.
yeah, no
Fair enough.
All fair. I would definitely be there after my fucking wildfire streak of fishing.
Yeah.
Bad observer I'm about to say. But after the fishing trip, now he's gonna fucking head off to the meeting spot or whatever. To, fucking pray to the elven gods, I think. While that whole Sigmar shit's going down.
All fair.
Okay.
Fucking,
No, don't even need to go to the meeting spot, but she just goes off to fucking pray to the gods. Let's go with that.
I love the least prepared people of Rika and Harwin. It's just the fucking biggest pullers of fish.
Yeah, you go. It's nighttime, and there's like torches lit and stuff, and there's seats that have been brought out for the sermon, and eventually, after a little bit of time, people would leave. And you guys are presumably you don't even stay that long, and you are the last ones, and he says, I wish to give each and one of you a personal blessing. If you don't mind. The gods. Me reaching to the gods and blessing, using their blessing upon you.
Would be an honor, Father.
Alright. But he'll bring one person at a time, away from the crowd. Who wants to go first?
I got it.
Okay. He just starts off with a small, fairly simple prayer of Sigma. And he says, Frederick, your battle arm is as strong as Sigmar's hammer. Use this to your advantage. Strike down your nation and fellow man's enemies, and do not relent. As you may eventually tire, but your enemies will not. Your spirit is strong. Continue your prayers and blessings to Sigma, and he will continue to protect you during the dark times as he has during these last couple months.
Thank you.
And then he'll say another small another small prayer, and then he says, "Send one of your other companions."
And I'll go down, and whoever wants to go goes.
I'll head on.
I guess I'm going after Hartman.
Okay. So he says, "Hartwin, is it?
Yes.
There's been much talk about yourself and your companions. There's nothing. I hear nothing but good deeds."
Protect them
And then
all with
he'll
the utmost honor.
He'll say another prayer. Say, "I see within you the light of Sigma that was passed down to man since he graced us with his presence all those years ago. This light will lead you to greatness and help you fulfill your duties to man." And he kind of closes his eyes and whispers something to himself, and he stops for a second and puts his hand on your heart, and he slowly opens his eyes again, but he says in a lower voice, "I feel something within you. It grows, it overshadows the light. Something dark. It has nearly taken control. You must fight this darkness. Do not let it consume your light, or grave consequences for you and those around you may arise." And then he'll say another small prayer. And then I'll let you go.
Pass by Loudon. Tell him to go in.
All right. I'll step up next. Father?
Says, Lout. Says, "How are you?"
I'm very good, Father. Although I am a bit disappointed with my catch this morning.
Some things are just out of our control. It may be the gods' will. They may have other plans for you than just catching fish.
Maybe, Father. Maybe. Hopefully
Then,
it'll be peaceful, and hopefully I can help with this.
He'll say another a small prayer. And then after that he says, "You may not be be a sword forged by Sigma, but you have a pure heart and care for those around you. This will not be forgotten by your comrades. Continue your craft, hone your mind. It will protect you from more than just a sharp blade. Remember why you are here. The farther you walk, the farther you take Sigma and the Empire more to glory. While you travel, there will be temptations. Do not take these. They wish to use you as a puppet for self-gain. Remember who you are, remember your comrades, and remember your gods."
Thank you, Father.
And then he'll say another small prayer, and then, alright, send in the last.
Oh, is that'd be me?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go, it's up to you.
Who is this? No.
Why not?
Okay. He says, "It is strange to see a scholarly woman about such, as I say, barbarous men." And he'll kind of chuckle, as if he's saying a really dry joke.
Yeah, well, you need people to do certain jobs.
And then he'll close his eyes. He'll say a small prayer. Say, "Strange. It is as if the gods have touched you. parted you from a path that was not your destiny. Do you know which path I speak of?
I think I do.
Ah, of course you do. The path to Mor's domain, which is the god of death.
Yeah.
Death is not your fate yet, young one. Not until the gods are done with you. Do not let this go to your head, as the gods will are ever changing. Ensure you do not fall from their grace, or they may not be there to save you from Mor's domain yet again. Many would take on the profession of serving the gods after such fate was changed. But I am unsure if this is your destiny. That is for you to decide. And then he'll say like another prayer, and then wrap everything up. And then for Ian.
Yeah. Am I gonna die?
No. You pray to your gods, but at first it seems like there might have been a sign, some sort of sign to lead you in which direction to take, but at the end of your prayers, you've kind of come to the assumption that there are no elven gods that will help guide you on this island.
Fuck. Shit.
God damn.
Oh, seems like some people are being abandoned by the gods. It's not good.
Might be a good time to convert, Bio.
Well, do you think it has to do with how he said the elven gods haven't been here for a very long time?
Also, what kind of a fucking loser turncoats when they don't hear words from their god? Like, what the fuck? You stay loyal to them no matter.
So you want to go suck my dick?
Look at every religious zealot in history and tell me that again.
That's true.
Whether they're committed to their fucking god.
No. When you don't.
When God abandons you, you lose faith hard.
Yeah.
Alright, but that's where I'm gonna end the sesh. And then everyone gains 300 XP.
Oh shit.
How much EXP do you get again for completing a short-term goal?
I'm not sure you have to. It's somewhere, I think, in character creation. Yeah, it's like 25
Also,
or something like that.
Could I get a resilience back?
A resilience? No. Everyone
I
gets it.
am making steps towards my long-term.
Yeah, but it's like a very, very major thing.
That's fair. Actually, let me go look in the book now because I need to have info on this fucking short term.
If you achieve your short-term ambition, you'll receive a bonus of 50 experience. And can then choose a new short-term ambition at the end of this.
Alright. So 50. So I got 355 right now. And I can spend on my class talents, maybe, if I fucking do. Because most of these are shit. Again.
Hey man, beggars can't be choosers!
I'm not. But I'm probably just gonna fucking pump up the things I got for my class abilities. So I'm probably gonna spend it all on skills.
You know, I'm gonna spend all mine on drugs. See you guys in a bit.
And guess what, kiddies?
Yeah?
I can use the gun.
Here we go. What
So
ammo does
I'm-
it use? Like, is that shit the humans also use?
It's like powder.
And shot, right?
Like, there's no special, like, dwarven caliber round or some nonsense. It's all just...
No. It's all universal. Well, this is a dangerous thing now on my hip. But I actually have to put ranks into it so I don't fucking shoot somebody.
Yeah, when you shoot, it's actually they have a chance. They have to make like a cool test or become broken or something. When you shoot them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have to go to 299 to actually go look at that specifics. You said it was a pistol or a handgun?
Pistol.
Oh shit. Now it's got a reloaded one.
I think I said like 5 shots too or something.
Mm-hmm. Got 5 good old boy shots.
God damn.
I don't think there would be anyone in camp who could teach me shieldsman, huh?
You're looking at him.
Do you have it yet?
I can get it. Because it's part of the talents I can get as part of my new station.
Hey, Daddy, quick question.
Yes.
Can Rika read?
Yes.
Okay. How much would it cost for you to for her to teach the lab how to read?
200 XP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
I would 100% be down to spend that 200 XP then to learn how to fucking read.
Oh, isn't
Or you
there
also have to pay the quarter fine.
isn't there an endeavor? Isn't there an endeavor? That,
Yeah, use an endeavor.
Yes. You have to use it.
well,
So unless we get endeavors.
we're about to do that next session, so I'd wait for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next
Yeah,
session,
hold off.
I'm gonna have to Rika how to teach me how to read then. I gotta learn how.
Yep, the crack of gunfire followed by gouts of smoke and confusion.
Also, Josh,
You must-
Stalker would be able to train you in that since he's a
He's a knight.
knight.
Okay, so probably best to wait and learn from Stalker then. So black powder, reload. Let's reload there.
But I am going to go to bed.
Alright, man. Thanks
All
for
right.
I did. Yeah,
Thanks, man.
the next session, really chill.
You said that this session was chill.
Chill, dude. Chill. It's just really comfortable. Nothing too serious happening, but everything's just a workout for everyone involved.
Nigga, the witch hunt's back on for your ass.
I mean, nothing serious happening. There's like Ian over there trying to figure out what he's gonna do.
Yeet.
I get fucking
He's
shoved
got
into
a
the
revenge on his
limelight.
hands. That's great.
Yeah, Monty. I don't know if you think this book is a blessing or a curse.
I don't know
Look,
if
man.
Monty thinks in general. Oh!
You're honestly getting kind of close to home again because I barely have enough brain power to run my own mouth.
Shit.
But yeah, I want to see what the hell's up with this book. Like, I want to know now.
Well, you gotta open it first, buddy.
Exactly. I gotta figure that shit out. What was you gonna say? Oh yeah, I was actually surprised. Like, what was the priest's threshold for detecting corruption? I'm assuming that's what he felt in Hartman.
I mean, it could have been some straight up fluff, too.
It's not fucking hard to detect corruption in Harwin.
Yeah.
This nigga is literally on the border.
Shit. I
Yeah,
forgot how constructed it was.
He has one more corruption, I think.
Jesus. And
He
there's
is
like
like-
no, and right, and there's like, what are the ways you can clear corruption without doing the Dark God's bidding?
Dark Whispers.
Without doing it is the question.
Yeah.
I think there's. I'd have to look again, but I thought I saw something that said absolution, but I think it. I don't remember the exact.
You might have to pay for that though.
Yeah. And I don't remember how much it takes away.
Well, we're back at shop, so I might need to see about buying some. No, can't really. There's not really a lot of one-handed weapons that are better than what I have.
Actually,
Except the fucking military flail. But I'm not allowed to have that. For good reason.
The what flip?
good reason.
What flip?
What blow? Oh, the military flail. Mainly because probably that's part of the expressive cargo that's probably at the bottom of the ocean. Wait, is scarce a step below rare?
That's the flail that you got.
That is not the flail I got. Wait, did I get a military flail?
Yes, it was a military flail.
I'm retarded. I've been swinging a regular flail.
I'm confused. Oh, you mean
I thought it
you?
was
Okay.
Yeah, the one I found inside. I thought it was a regular flail.
I'm gonna guess they mean the grain flail.
No, it was the I put in their military flail because it was
Okay.
Hang on,
because
what the?
it's two-handed.
Oh, okay. So you have a two-handed flail. To clarify.
Alright, so let me change that, because, sorry, Matt, I thought you said regular flail. I've been swinging this thing one-handed.
Oh, it's all good.
Alright, let me just change that. That means my damage goes up to 9. I gotta fucking double fist this goddamn thing.
All right, but I'm gonna go to bed. I will talk to you guys.
Not man.
Night.
Gotta write down all this stuff. Oh fuck, it's tiring. That's not okay.
I think it just means it loses impact after the first hit. I could be wrong.
I'm looking for it now. The weapon is fatiguing to use or difficult to bring to bear. You only gain the benefit of the impact and damaging weapon traits on a turn you charge. Okay.
Okay.
What I miss, what I miss.
Wait, this... Does it happen? I don't think it happens.